Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers. It all begins.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnah Followers, in association with Hadith Institute, presents to you an intensive foundation in Islamic studies. We welcome Dr. Ali Shihada, who will be teaching the science of the Quran and the Hadith every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnah Followers. Assalamu alaikum. Sunnah Followers, in association with Hadith Institute, presents to you an intensive foundation in Islamic studies. We welcome Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, who will be teaching the Aqidah and the Seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnah Followers. Assalamu alaikum. I'm excited. Once again, Ustada Lailanasheeba is presenting to you a new class called Keys to Living Islam. Examples from the life of the Prophet and his struggles are used to give the fasting Muslim hope and insight as to how to handle the different trials of life and come out winners. Class will be held every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern and streaming on all social media platforms. Put us on the big screen, parents, for the kids. Channel Sunnah Followers. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Access to Layla live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustada Lailanasheeba. If you have any questions in regards to this theme, call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnah Followers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome everybody to our Hadith class. And alhamdulillah, I see one of the new sisters here on YouTube has joined Sister Janelle. MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Janelle. How are you? I hope you're having a beautiful Ramadan, inshallah. I hope everybody's Ramadan is going good. This is the 4th day. We just completed the 4th day of fasting. Inshallah, we'll be starting the 5th day. So the first week of Ramadan is almost down. So again, a lot of the people were complaining to me today about how they're having problems today. Even me, I had a problem today too with my GERD. So it happens. It's best to get it out the way during the first week, okay? The first week, you'll go through that whereas different things, your body's adjusting. It's going to take that first week for the body to adjust to going without being overfed, because that's what we do. We overfeed ourselves. So, your body is going to go spend that first week going through self-adjustment. So don't feel bad, if you had a, problem, pick yourself up, get back on track, because it's going to get easier each day. It's going to get easier each day. And by the end of the second week of fasting, you will be acclimated. Your body will be used to it. So it's okay, to have a stressful day. As one of the sisters said, it's okay to have a hard day, but just hold on to the rope. And by the way, and I want everyone to remember, Allah is not punishing you. I had one sister send me an email. She said she started having a very severe migraine headache. So severe. She said that she knows she needed her medication for it. But she wanted to know, if she takes the medication for it, will she have to make that day up? It was as if she didn't want to. Yes. Allah doesn't want you to put yourself through any hardship like that. If you got a migraine headache, come on, guys, we know how that works. Migraine headaches do not get better. If you don't take the pain medication, it's just going to get worse. So break your fast. If it's a migraine, break your fast. Take your medicine so you can get over that and make that day up. Allah doesn't want any of us to suffer. And as Dr. Ali talked about when he did his Ramadan prep series, these are concessions. These are concessions. A lot of people will say, but wouldn't I get more blessings if I continue to fast knowing I'm sick? No, you're going to get less reward because Allah made these concessions for us. He doesn't want to put us through any unnecessary strife. So no, if you got a migraine, now we ain't talking about the Ramadan headache. We all have the Ramadan headache. Y'all know what the Ramadan headache is? What's the Ramadan headache? Mina, you know what the Ramadan headache is?
Yeah, it depends. Mine's just because I ain't ate. So I get like some sweet. I'm taking some sweet date or something.
Exactly. The Ramadan headache we all get. And my doctor explained that to me one year. She said, Layla, the Ramadan headache, whenever you go without eating or drinking and your body is used to taking in the extra food, the extra drinking that we do as Americans, we overeat. It's a reality. Americans overeat. So she said, your body, is when you start fasting for Ramadan, you get that Ramadan headache because your sugar level drops. That's normal. It doesn't mean you are diabetic or nothing. It just means that your body is going through a change. It has to adjust to not having all this food constantly stuffed in his mouth. So you're going to get that Ramadan headache. But if you guys notice, once you break your fast and eat something, it goes away. That's a different type of headache. Just like we have the caffeine headache. How many of you know what the caffeine headache is? Hello? You see, I got my fingers up. The caffeine headache. If you're a person that drinks a lot of tea, drinks a lot of coffee like I do, to go without those 3-4 cups of teas, 3-4 cups of coffees, you're going to get that caffeine headache. I mean, it's not that bad. When you break your fast and drink your coffee, what happens? It goes away. Y'all heard the song, I make a cup of coffee for your head. I make a cup of coffee, drink the coffee, and the headache goes away. So those are simple headaches that we can deal with. But a migraine is not a Ramadan headache. A migraine is not a caffeine headache. A migraine or a cluster headache, they can take you out of this world. Did y'all know that? Do you know how many people die from those type of headaches? Cause all kind of stuff, aneurysms. Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't play with no migraine headache. You don't play with no cluster headache. You break your fast and you take that medicine because all it's going to do is get worse if you don't. And by the way, that's a question that one of the sisters asked me. One of the sisters here suffers with migraine headaches, and she just typed here. This was a sister from Trovo. She said that she gets the shots. By the way, for migraine headaches, they got injections they can give you in the back of your head. So she wants to know, does that break the fast? No. As we had Sheikh Morsi, I had called Sheikh Morsi, I think it was yesterday, as he explained to you guys too, injections of any kind, whether it's a vitamin, whether it's a knot, it does not break the fast. The only thing that breaks the fast is to eat or drink something, to put it in your mouth and swallow it down to your stomach, or sexual intercourse. That's all. So if you have to have a migraine shot, they put that injection in the back of your head, that does not break your fast. If you got to get a migraine injection, get your migraine injection. Okay? Because if you don't get that migraine injection, you're going to be screaming and hollering on the floor crying. That pain is horrible. I know. I've seen people suffer with cluster and migraine headaches. There ain't nothing nice about it. Okay, but the Ramadan headache is different. The Ramadan headache that's going to go away when you eat, you can handle that. The caffeine headache, you can handle that. But if you got a migraine, break it. Y'all understand that? And no, you do not pay the ransom for that. You make that day up. The ransom is only for the chronically ill. If you have a disease or a sickness that never goes away, it gets worse with time. Okay, that's a chronic illness. Those are the people that pay the ransom. But for you, your headache, is under control. With medicine, that's something a little different. Okay, just break it. Everybody understand that and make it up. Everybody understand that about the ransom and the regular headaches. I mean, Allah doesn't want us to suffer. And yes, I have another question here from one of the brothers. He says he's traveling across the world to visit his family. Will I get more blessings keeping my fast? Again, the same answer, brother. What is your name? Anwar? Brother Anwar, is the same answer. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam never fasted when he traveled. He always broke his fast to set the example. I mean, if you want to fast, you can, but it's best to break it. Why? Because as the Prophet Muhammad said, we need to learn to accept the concessions of Allah. Allah doesn't want to impose hardship on us. Allah doesn't want us to end up hating something from which good comes. So if you're going to be traveling across the world to go visit your family in Australia, Brother Anwar, you don't fast. You can break but you wait until the plane is off the ground. Do you understand? That's the only thing. You wait until the plane is off the ground and then you break it. Because you never know. You might get delayed, especially if you flying Frontier or Spirit, which they don't go across the ocean, but still. And if you flying one of those rinky-dink airlines, you might have a problem like Jamali had. Jamali had a problem. The pilot was drunk. So they didn't get off the ground. So, wait till the plane is off the ground and then break your fast. Okay? All right. So, so again, Allah makes these concessions for our betterment. He doesn't want to cause us any harm. He doesn't want us to make this religion ugly. He doesn't want us to end up hating. Because that's what happens. A lot of people end up hating this religion because of the rigidity that a lot of people impose upon others. All right? Islam is easy. is good and clean. Islam is good and clean. Fasting, good and clean. Okay, it's easy. All right, so this, and before I start this class, let me make a couple announcements too. I meant to tell you guys, did everybody see that I got the Sunnah Followers blog back up? I did post up on Facebook and also other platforms that the Sunnah Followers blog is back up. We had a blog that we used to write on the magazine years ago. I could never find nobody to volunteer to do it for me again. So I did it myself last night. That's what you do when you're bored by yourself. You want to keep your mind off of things. A lot of you sisters tell me how you dealing with stress, how you dealing with depression and all that. You feel yourself becoming overwhelmed. You know, one of the things that our prophet taught us to do, of course, you can ask Allah to take it away from you. Make dua. And another thing that the Prophet ﷺ taught us to do when we find ourselves becoming overwhelmed, thinking about things that we shouldn't think about, get busy. Get busy doing some other action of remembrance of Allah. So when I found myself getting depressed, not depressed, but sad, I found myself getting sad last night. So to keep myself from going down that tunnel of darkness, I logged into my website, like I always do. And I said, let me teach myself how to put a blog together. And I started at 12 o'clock at night. By the time fasting started at 6:30, I had my blog together. So the Sunnah Followers blog is back. And I wrote 14 stories. Did y'all see? I'm a writer. So I said, I'm going to take my mind off of what's going on in my head, because I get in my head about things. And if some things just hurt me and depress me and it can take you out, I said, let me get to writing about Allah. Did y'all see the Sunnah Followers blog? I got a lot of little stories. I wrote about 14 stories, 2 of them about Ramadan. I wrote a story about an article about the 5 pillars, about Sunnah Followers, what you can expect to learn here from this website. So make sure y'all check out the blog. And you can access the blog by going to sunnahfollowers.net. Click on the tab that says blog. Did y'all see that? Mina, did y'all see the blog?
I seen it, but I didn't click on it. I will.
Yeah. Let me show y'all right quick. Oh, no, I don't want to show.
I see it right now. It's very pretty.
Oh, you like it? Yeah. You see, y'all see the stories I wrote yesterday? I was busy. Up until after Fajr, trying to keep my mind off of that's what you do, sisters. When you find yourself becoming overwhelmed with life, with your problems, with the stresses of the world, people hurting you, people letting you down, people, whatever, gaslighting you. Is that the word? What's gaslighting anyway? People gaslighting you and all that crazy stuff that y'all be complaining to me about. Think about Allah. Do something. Take your mind and put it on something else that's constructive with Allah. And that's what I did. 14 articles I wrote. In 8 hours. No, in 6 hours. Wrote them in 6 hours. That's pretty good. All right. And by the way, if anybody would like to write something for the blog, let me know. Just to let y'all know. Anybody, I got a lot of writers here, like Sabrine. Sabrine's a writer. Anybody that got something that they want to write or contribute to the blog, let me know. I'll look it over. No, I'm an editor too. I used to be an editor. I'll look it over and put it on the blog. Okay. All right. So I had to talk about the blog. And also, guys, this is the weekend coming up. I did the commercial. We got a new class on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A new class that I added to the Ramadan lineup is called Living Islam. I will be teaching that class, and I will take excerpts. It'll be teaching you about the Prophet and the companion still, and also how to better yourself, especially for Ramadan. I'm going to take different excerpts from the life of the Prophet and his companions, things that they had to deal with, some of their troubles, some of their hardships, and how they handled themselves with that. And then as a way of giving you hope and showing you how to handle your trials. That's going to be every Saturday and Sunday at 9 for the month of Ramadan. Okay. And also Saturday and Sunday, we have Dr. Ali. Dr. Ali will be continuing his intensive course on the science of the Quran and Hadith. And also we have Dr. Ibrahim Jamali. Y'all know this is the class. This is the, wait, let me put myself down. Yeah, Dr. Ali's class. The science of Quran and Hadith will be every Saturday still at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning. I want the children participating in his class too, so they can learn the science of the Quran, so they can learn the science of the Hadith, especially if your children are 10 years old and older. That's the age to start teaching them that. And then on Sundays, we still have Dr. Jamali's class on Aqidah and Sirah at 11. Okay, so we still got those things going on for the weekend. And of course, tomorrow at 9 p.m., the Call In and Ask Sister Layla live show. So any questions, I'm sure it's going to be more questions about fasting or anything else. Bring them here. And inshallah, I'll answer your questions. And if it's something that I can't answer, we have Sheikh Morsi on standby, and also Dr. Jamali pops in to help answer as well. So that's tomorrow. So again, we're trying to keep your Ramadan productive here at Sunnah Followers. You know, we're trying to help you get through each day, become a better person, a better Muslim, a better human being, you know. And by the way, please support us. Please, guys, support this dawah effort so I can continue to keep these programs going and streaming like this. This stuff costs money, man. It costs a lot of money to do this type of streaming I'm doing. So please, guys, support us, you know, by donating. So with that said, let's get started on our Hadith class. And what's this popping up? TikTok. What's TikTok doing popping up? I'm not, the one thing I don't stream on is TikTok. I don't care for TikTok, guys, but I stream on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Trovo, DLive. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Odyssey, LinkedIn, everything but TikTok. I don't care for TikTok. Too much fitna. I don't like that type of fitna. And I'm also on Mixcloud. How do y'all think I got the rappers? I got my Rough Rider, Jean-Louis, all those nice little jingles for my classes. That's Jean-Louis, one of the ex-Rough Riders, DMC. I'm on Mixcloud. I'm on Mixcloud with Jay-Z and what's her name? Taylor Swift and all them. Yeah. Okay, here's a question before I start the class. Go ahead, Brother Ahmed. Can we burn incense? Yes, you can. Let me talk about it. I understand that you have these fatwas going on out around saying that you can't burn incense because smelling incense breaks your fast. That's not true. Do y'all think Allah is that? Would Allah be like that? Just because I can smell a rose, that means my fast is broken? Just because I can smell the people next door barbecuing, my fast is broken? Smell. And I'm going to tell y'all, smell does not break the fast. The Prophet Muhammad did not say anything about smell breaking fast. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what breaks the fast is to eat something, drink something. So those fatwas that I've been seeing people post up, they don't make no sense. This is why, you know, Islam is not based on fatwa. Islam is based on two sources, the Quran and the authentic Hadith. If I were to tell you because you smelled some incense, your fast is broken, that means what we supposed to do, suffocate ourselves? You're telling me that smell? I can smell the roses outside. I can smell the honeysuckle. Do y'all know that honeysuckle? I live right across from some woods. This is the spring. So because I smell honeysuckle, my fast is broken? Are you crazy? That's ludicrous. And that's extreme. That's a fanatic. No, incense does not break your fast. Smells do not break your fast. Because you smell the chicken next door does not mean your fast is broken. Unless you eat the chicken, unless you're eating the incense, your fast is not broken. And Allah knows best. I mean, some of these fatwas, y'all can see through them. Just use your intellect. Like the Prophet Muhammad said, Islam appeals to the intellect. Islam appeals to the heart too. If it don't make sense logically, then it's not Islam. Because those brothers are basically telling y'all that your fast is broken because you smell anything. That's ludicrous. And Allah knows best. Does that answer that question? Does that answer the question, Brother Ahmad? Brother Ahmed. That's Ahmed, not Ahmad. That's Ahmed. Okay. All right. So let's get started. And by the way, that's what this hadith is about tonight. This hadith that we're going to speak about tonight is goes hand in hand with these questions. Because Allah doesn't like for us to make things hard on ourselves. Allah doesn't like for us to make things difficult. And let me put the hadith up on the screen so everybody can see, inshallah. Let me go to the Zoom room first. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is it for you guys. And for the people here on YouTube, you're going to see a black screen for a minute. There's my Sunnah followers. And now let me share you guys to the PowerPoint too. So you guys should be able to see this too. There we go. Let me make it big screen. And put this up. Yeah, incense, bukur, I don't care what y'all call it. Smells do not break your fast. I don't care what nobody said. The Prophet Muhammad didn't say no nonsense like that. Neither did Allah. Take those fatwas like that and just dump them. So we're going to look at today's hadith, Not One of Us. This is the book. This book is written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. And I want you guys to add this to the books, this book, along with Articles of Belief and Termites. All of these books can be purchased by going to www.adleeonline.com. I really love this book. Why? Because in this book, what Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee has done is he took authentic hadiths from the Sittah, in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam defined as being so bad, the characteristics or the behaviors or the actions are so bad that if you do these actions or do these things, you're not one of us, because he didn't come with that. So you want to purchase this book. It doesn't cost but a few dollars. Go to adleeonline.com. And for those of you who are new, not only do you want to get this book, but also the book entitled Termites and the book entitled Articles of Belief. Those are the three books that we're learning from Sheikh Atlee. And when we finish this book, we're going to go into another book of his that he got out. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the hadith for today. And it applies to what we're talking about. This hadith was narrated by Hudayfa radiyallahu anha. He said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it is not for the believer to humiliate himself by taking on a task that he cannot bear. In other words, by doing something that you really can't do, making the religion hard on yourself. And that's the nature of the human soul. Remember, we talked about how the human soul is criminal by nature. The human soul, every sense, the fitra, detached from it. When Allah placed your soul in the womb of your mother, your fitra detached from it and attached to the heart, leaving the soul curious, leaving the soul attracted to everything that's bad for it, everything that's dirty. So when you came into the world, you come into the world curious. The soul is curious about the things around it. The soul wants to do things that it shouldn't do. The soul has convinced itself that if I make things hard for myself, I'm better. If I make things hard for myself, that makes me stronger. If I make things hard for myself, it's going to bring me more rewards. Well, that's not the truth. The fitra recognizes truth from falsehood. The fitra knows what you can and can't do. So we end up fighting between the heart and the soul. Your heart is telling you, don't do it because you ain't going to be able to handle it. But your soul wants to prove that it's superior over others. Islam teaches us to not listen to the soul, to not give in to it. Don't take on things that you can't handle. Understand too, guys, Allah. Everything good that happens to us comes from Allah. And everything bad that happens to us comes from Allah too. But Allah does not put a burden on any of us that we can't handle. Like I was telling you guys, the Muslims in Gaza, they can handle it. If they couldn't handle it, Allah wouldn't give them what they're going through. And Allah tells us He will give us, He will test us according to our faith. So you look at what the Muslims in Gaza are going through, you know that these are people that are strong in their faith. They're so strong in their faith, they can handle what we can't handle, which is war. And while the Gazians are dealing with their trials, we got Muslims here in the West taking on responsibilities, taking on hardships that they don't have to take on. For example, you sisters who fall in the category of paying the ransom, you don't have to fast. Allah has alleviated you of that. All you have to do is pay the ransom. But instead of you paying the ransom, you want to take on the ability of fasting anyway, knowing that you can't bear it, knowing that it's going to make you sick, knowing that it's going to take you out. And then you end up in the grave, suicide. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Do not humiliate yourself. Know your limits. Know what you can and cannot do. Don't volunteer to take on responsibilities that you know you ain't qualified to handle. A lot of you sisters are always asking me about dawah. You ain't qualified to give dawah. Number one, you got to have the knowledge, and you don't have it. Until you learn the lawful and the unlawful, until you learn what it means to believe in Allah and have allegiance to Him and the Prophet and this religion, you ain't qualified to give dawah verbally. And also a lot of other things come with it too. You have to sacrifice. Are you willing to give up your husband for the sake of dawah? Most women of the dawah, like myself, we're single. We don't have husbands. Okay? Are you willing to sacrifice your children for the sake of dawah? Most women like myself for the dawah, we don't have no kids, or we got one or two, and that they on their own. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Okay? Don't take on responsibilities and hardships that you can't handle. And this is a great hadith for us to ponder during this sacred month of Ramadan. And let's look to see what Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli said. He said, Islamic law, Allah sent the laws with mercy and ease for us. Allah's laws do not burden us beyond our capability. That's why we don't have to pray the voluntary prayers. That's why the Taraweeh prayer is voluntary. A lot of Muslims think that you have to go to the mosque and pray the Taraweeh every night for Ramadan. That's not true. It's hard enough fasting. Do you think Allah would make it an obligation to fast and go to the mosque and play Taraweeh? And you got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work? No, if you can't handle it, you don't have to do it. Reading the Quran. There are some Muslims that think you have to read one juz of the Quran each day. That's not true. Your fast is not contingent on reading the Quran. You don't have to read the Quran at all for the month of Ramadan, and you will still get the reward of fasting if you're fasting. So why overburden yourself? Why take on obligations and responsibilities that you can't handle? Also, we learn from this hadith that as Muslims, we should always pray for safety. However, if a trial does happen, be patient with it. Take solace in the fact that whatever bad happens to you, you can handle it. Be it a car accident, be it losing a husband, be it losing somebody else losing their life. If you couldn't handle it, Allah wouldn't give it to you. And that's what I tell you Muslims that's too weak about Gaza. The people in Gaza don't need your sympathy. They need your empathy, because they don't need you crying and losing your mind about their situation. They'll tell you, we can handle ours. Can you handle yours? Empathize for us, but don't sympathize for us, because we don't need nobody's pity. Okay? Be patient like they are. And also we learn from this hadith that a Muslim should be careful not to make supplications that may backfire on themselves. Let me explain that. Be careful. There's an old saying that says, be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you ask for. A lot of you sisters pray to be married. Oh, Allah, send me a husband. So Allah sends you a husband. You didn't say what kind of husband. You just said, send me a husband. So Allah sends you the worst decrepit man on earth. A man that's going to abuse you. A man that doesn't even pray. A man that's going to abuse your children. You ask for a husband. Be careful of the supplications, because it may backfire on you. You ask Allah to send you a righteous man, a man that will provide for you, a man that will maintain you and love you and treat you with dignity and respect. That's what you should pray for. We have to be careful of how we word our supplications, because they can backfire. And also, as Muslims, we should not engage in things that can compromise our honor. A lot of people want to be rich. What did we say? What does T.I. and Rihanna say? I'm going to live my life. Well, we Muslims, we live our life for the hereafter. Be careful of engaging in actions that will compromise your honor. You want to live the life. Ho, ho, ho. So you're going to sell drugs, little boys, young boys. You're living your life. Oh, ho, ho, on that Xbox. That's where you think the dope dealers get the little boys from, guys. Parents, beware. Because right there on Twitch, right there on Trovo, Right there on that Xbox. That's where the dope dealers are picking up the young boys, telling them you can live your life. Whoa. Be careful of engaging in things that can compromise your honor, compromise your deen, compromise your life. And also we learn from this hadith that if a Muslim cannot enjoin the good and forbid the evil with his hand or tongue, at least hate it in your heart by making dua against it. So again, this is a wonderful hadith for us to put into practice during this beautiful sacred month of Ramadan. Because again, Ramadan is the month of change. We're all supposed to be changing the condition of ourselves, changing the condition of ourselves to that which is pleasing to Allah. And in order to do that, we're going to have to take some good long looks at ourselves. Look at yourself. Are you taking on responsibilities or obligations that you can't handle? Look at yourself. Are you living the life of this world? Whoa. Or are you living for the hereafter? I want y'all to think about it. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Is this clear for the kids too? Like I said, I'm trying to appeal to the children as well as the adults. The children, unfortunately, are a reflection of their parents. Okay? And so many of us parents, we got it twisted. The women, we sisters, we out making that money, living the life, neglecting our children, leaving our children home with TV as babysitters, leaving our children at home with the kafirs as babysitters. And we're paying the price with our children. We're losing our Muslim kids to this dunya. Our boys are selling drugs. Our daughters, boyfriends, dating, Nicki Minajing, Cardi B. We got to get it together. All right, any questions? All right, I'm going to close out for tonight. Inshallah, I want everybody to remember tomorrow is Friday. And Friday, I'm going to try to broadcast the khutbah, the Juma khutbah from Sheikh Atli and Dramali and Mukhtar, whoever's doing the khutbah. I'm going to broadcast that, stream that live to you guys at 1:30, inshallah. And then at 6:30, we have my class on the fiqh of fasting. And then at 9 o'clock, we have the call in and ask Sister Layla live show. I will be contacting Dramali. Hold on. That sister, what she asked about the dream show, right? For that, what day he usually does that? Saturdays?
Yeah, Saturdays.
Let me call him so I can get that schedule together. They doing Tarweed prayer.
Please leave your message for...
This is Tarweed time for them. Hold on. Let me text him. Yeah, I'm going to text Dramali now. Are you doing the dream class this weekend? Yeah, and I'll put it on the schedule. Once he texts me back, yeah, I'll text him. Okay, I'll let you guys know. I'll put it on the Saturday if he's going to do it Saturday. All right, so I'm going to close out for tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining. I will log back in later. Yeah, and I've been streaming at night. Yeah, I'll log back on later and stream later on tonight. But for now, I want to thank everybody for joining the classes. Make sure everybody breaks your fast. Don't forget to make dua. By the way, yes, that's one of the questions I meant to answer earlier too. One of the sisters here was asking me, is that a good time to make dua when she break fast? Yes. When you make that supplication saying, oh Allah, for thy sake have I fasted, now I break my fast with sustenance provided for you. When you make that supplication, you can add your own personal supplication. Because the Prophet ﷺ said the supplication of the faster is never rejected. So whatever personal supplications you have, you know, maybe you need a new job, a new house, new car, new baby, whatever, new pair of shoes, roll it. Okay, make your personal supplication right before you break your fast. Yes, you can do that. Does that answer your question, sister? Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for right now. I'll be back on a little later to stream, all right, just past lectures. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta